Hi, I'm Corbett Lunsford from Building Performance Workshop, where I teach building industry professionals to use scientific testing so that they can make more money doing better work for happier clients. Today we're going to talk about duct leakage testing. Duct leakage testing involves a very important step, which is taping up the entire duct system where the registers are. That is the intentional openings between the duct system and the house. So we need to seal all those, and there are a variety of products that you can use to do that. We use this all the time at our training workshop and also in our diagnostics firm, Chicago Home Performance. And we wanted to share our tips and tricks with you. In our state, this is actually going to be code within a couple minutes here. So we're really excited about it. It's going to be code where you are, and getting really savvy with all the materials that you can use is a really good idea. So here's where we're going to go. First thing, you need your equipment. Your equipment is your onion goggles. You can use any goggles that do a really good job of protecting your eyes, but these are my favorites because they're really well padded and they're not going to let anything in. These were designed for people to use when they're cutting onions so that you don't cry. So same thing, when you are inevitably going to be taping registers that are on the ceiling, you're going to be up there and you're going to be taping, and of course a little piece of a dead fly is going to fall down and get stuck in your eye. And these, all right, it's just going to bounce right off. So you need them. It's a must, because otherwise you're going to spend literally half an hour trying to get something out of your eye. It's a pain in the butt. All right, now for the products. We have a couple different tapes that we use. This is the tape from Retrotech. We come with your duct tester. It's a very long roll. It's a 12 by 12 cut. That makes it a big square. And I'm going to show you what that does to the duct registers in a couple minutes. We're going to discuss the different qualities of each of these products. But we do use this some of the time. We use this, which is Grill Seal. It's bright red, and we also use a very similar product that's from Energy Conservatory, their duct mask. That is the same basic product, same size and perforations, but it's clear. I like the red because it'll remind you to grab your tape before you leave the house, because leaving the house and getting called in the middle of the night, hey, my HVAC is not blowing, because it's covered in a bunch of clear tape all over the house that the homeowner didn't notice, that's a terrible moment. So we'll use this as well. This stuff is Press and Seal. You can get this at Walmart for like $1.50 a roll. Generally what happens in the field is that the little side tabs are going to pop out anyway, so you'll end up dealing with just the roll of the saran wrap type material, essentially. And it's exactly like Glad Wrap, except it's got a little bit of adhesive on it. And then the last bit is just normal old masking tape. So the first place that you're going to probably want to deal with is the return register. The return register is where we're going to be setting up for the actual fan. This stuff is super cheap, but it's not going to hold onto this the way that you need it to. So what I generally do instead is deal with a piece of cardboard, and this is where your BPI certification course comes in handy, where you learn that air sealing products can be drywall, plastic, cardboard, foam, caulk, things like that. Cardboard, obviously part of that list. Masking tape, part of that list. So once you've affixed this entire thing, then you've haven't spent any serious money, and we've got it all affixed, and we're ready to run the test. In the meantime, we're running around the house doing these. Now, if you're running a duct leakage depressurization test only, then you can get by using this stuff, which is the Glad Press and Seal. This will stick very loosely to the registers, and then when you activate the duct leakage testing device, the fan, it's going to depressurize the ducts, and it's going to get sucked on even tighter. So if you're going to deal with it in this loose form, you get it unwound like this. It's got a sticky side and an unsticky side. You make a little tear in the top, and then you're able to just peel the entire length away pretty easily. Now, the great thing about this, aside from the fact that it's super cheap, is it won't stick to itself. So you can, if you mess up, which is a must, you will be able to get it back off. So that looks pretty great, right? Now that is going to get sucked on. Now there's a point at rough-in when you will be doing this test. Hopefully you will be doing this test at rough-in. That means that the drywall is not on yet and the ducts are all still exposed. That is because you're going to want to fix problems. Probably in the first couple of these that you do, or the first couple of these with a particular HVAC contractor or a builder, the ducts are not going to be sealed well enough. To give you an idea, in Illinois, we're going to have a mandate of no more than 4 CFM per 100 square feet. That's a pretty tight system. So when you have got this on there at rough-in, there's a bunch of construction dust all over the place. This is not going to stick very well, and that's going to actually give me a false reading of how loose this system is. It's going to read a lot looser than it actually is. So at rough-in, I'm going to need to use something a little bit more hardy. And that's why I've got the Retrotech material comes off in giant sheets. Now this is a really careful technique that you have to use. It is possible to do this well, but you basically have it so that it's not stuck to itself, and you stick it over the register. Now, as you can see on this register, this is a standard sized supply register. This is my one con about this product. It's not quite big enough to cover up these seams at the outside of this register. It's missing both of these, but it's way more than enough on the top and the bottom. Now what you can do to make it really easy for you to take this back off is give it a little lip so that you can just reach up, and if you're on the ground and this thing is on the ceiling, you could just reach up and you've got a big sticky ball of it at the end when you're collecting all of it, and you just catch an edge of this and it'll rip it right off for you. So this stuff, when it sticks to itself, becomes pretty unmanageable. And therefore, when you're in the field and you're trying to look all sexy and like you really know what you're doing, it can hinder you. So you can get good at this, and for sure this is good for some applications, but in the stickiness factor, it's definitely got something to be desired. This stuff is the grill seal. This is the red product. And I just want to show you this. This will not stick to itself. So I'm a fan of this because I'm very clumsy with this stuff in the field, especially when I'm trying to look good. I find that this is going to happen to me more often than not. So when I do stick this down, I'm going to want to pull off about 3 lengths of this. So there's 1, 2, 3. And this is the perfect size, actually, to just cover the portion that is the open area, the net-free area, essentially, of this register. If I wanted to cover the whole thing, 4 lengths of it does just fine. So, and again, you're not overlapping a huge amount here and here. It's just enough to get the job done. You want to make sure to tamp down on the area where the lever is, because that's obviously going to be open unless you really pay attention to that. So here's this. Now, again, when you're on a rough-in inspection, it's going to be a lot of dust. You need something a little bit stickier with a little bit more power. You probably need to brush away any major construction debris. When you're at final, you may have stepped into a house that just got painted yesterday. So you're going to need to use something that's a little more gentle. That would be something like this or like this. So my main thesis for you is that there are a bunch of different products. I would stock all of them because they're all useful in different scenarios. Being smart about what you're using is a really great idea, and you can save a lot of money by applying the right product in the right scenario. So I really hope that this has been helpful for you. I'm Corbett Lunsford. This is Building Performance Workshop. Tune in next time.